Hello Sunday School, I hope that you're all well and that you all had a wonderful last couple of weeks and you're looking forward to your half-term break. Now, in today's Sunday School lesson with Sister Donna, you learned about the Battle of Jericho, how the people had to be obedient and march around Jericho city 7 times, and on the 7th time, those walls came tumbling down. Now that was all to do with being obedient to the Lord's instructions and listening to what He's told you to do and following that to the letter. For today's Sunday School lesson, we will be making our very own Jesus Says board games. For today's task, you will need some paper, some card, some sellotape or some glue, some scissors, colouring pens or paints if you like, and a marble or a couple of marbles actually. And if you don't have those, I intend to use some old hairbands that I've got a little ball on the end, just something that can roll. Okay, so go get your stuff and come right back. The first thing that you're going to do today is take your piece of card and mark out 4 centimetres from the side, and then again at 6 centimetres. Then draw a line from the top to the bottom of the page in line with the centimetre marks that you just made. So you should end up with 2 lines, one thick and one a bit thinner, like this. Next, you need to cut along the line of the 6 centimetre mark, not the 4 centimetre one. Then you're going to take a pair of scissors and score along the 4 centimetre line. You might need an adult to help you do this. That will make it easier for your piece of paper to bend like this. So just fold along the line on both pieces. Now we're going to repeat the process, but this time in portrait, so your piece of card will be longer. So remember, 4 centimetres and 6 centimetres, score along the 4 centimetre line like this, and then fold. Now I'm going to put all of my sides together and just tape them into place like this. Make sure your edges are nice and secure, so put a few pieces of sellotape or a good dollop of glue to secure that in place. It looks like a bit of a picture frame or the inside of a box. Next, I'm going to take my second piece of card, again in portrait, and once again I'm going to measure out 4 centimetres across, and then just make a dot every 4 centimetres across, and then draw vertical lines down the length of my page like this. Now I'm going to randomly mark out some lines across my vertical lines. It looks a little bit like a brick wall, but with uneven bricks, like this. As you can see, some spaces are bigger and some are smaller as you go along the line. Now keep going and do the same to the rest of the lines, and it should look like this at the end. Next, I'm going to prep my shapes for colour, so I'm just writing a little R in some of my shapes, and that means I'm going to paint that square red, and then I do the same for yellow. Again, there's no order to it, so just whichever squares you like. And now it's time to paint or colour your squares. It should look like this. Now I've called in a little bit of help to help me with the rest of my painting. You just keep going, many hands make light work. Now some of your parents might remember a game we used to play back in the 80s called Simon Says. Now the colours on this game were red, blue, yellow and green. So I've chosen those colours to nod to that game. Now I'm just going to highlight my lines with black just to give it a bit of depth. And the same thing with some of my squares. I'm just going around with a darker shade of the same colour to just add some shade. It should look like this. Now it's time to add the Jesus Says instructions to the game. Now these can be a mixture of instructions, so some fun, some to help you remember scriptures, some to help you do a particular thing. So this one says, Jesus says, clap 10 times whilst hopping on one leg to earn 5 points. Now I've chosen my red squares as my disobedient squares. Now because it says touch your knee and it doesn't say Jesus says, I lose 2 points. Now I found some sparkly numbers that I'm going to use. So I'm just going to stick some of these numbers on some of my squares. Now if you haven't got these, it's absolutely fine. You can just draw a big number on any square and they're either minus or points to gain. Now we can also use this game as a bit of a spelling test. So this one says spell the word, and whatever word it is, to gain 10 points. So just keep filling in all of your boxes. I've used all of my white boxes for Jesus says instructions like this. So now we're just going to fit our game into the frame like this. Just push it down, make sure it's nice and flat. And I'm going to turn it over and just secure that in place with some sellotape. I'm also putting some sellotape in the corners just to hold that in place on the other side. Doesn't matter, you won't see it. So it should look like this. Now I'm just going to make a little scorecard. So I'm just drawing 2 lines and then a small margin across the top. I'm going to put player 1 and player 2 in the margins like this. And we're ready to play the game. Where's it going to land? Oh no, minus 15 points. Oh, this is a good throw. Yay! I've gained 10 points. The first player to get to 50 points is the winner. Or the player with the highest number of points after a certain amount of throws is the winner. You decide. So don't forget to add your points up as you go. So there you have it, your Jesus Says board game. Don't forget to write your spelling words on a separate piece of paper. Or you could just choose random words for your opponent to spell as you play the game. Well done, everybody. I really hope that you had as much fun as I did playing your Jesus Says board games today, and I hope you won. Remember, it's so important to follow the Lord's instructions. He knows our fears and He knows the desires of our heart, and He's able to help us overcome any obstacle if we trust and believe in Him. Until next time, Sunday School, God bless you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.